In today's video, I'm going to be going over 10 signs that you might be an Enneagram Type 7. And if you're new here, I'm Hillary, your certified Enneagram life coach, and I love to teach you guys the Enneagram in the simplest and easiest way possible. But before we jump into this video, don't forget to push that subscribe button and click the bell that's right next to it because guys, I release videos every single week and that is how you will get notified, by clicking the bell. This is a series and I just want to let you guys know that I've already covered types 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9. And so I will link all of those down in that description box because a lot of times you come to these videos and you have a couple of numbers you're trying to choose from, especially if you've taken a test and it gives you that top three, the top 3 test results, and you're like, well, it had a 7, and a lot of times 7s will have a 4 in their top 3, or even a 6 or a 5. And so go watch the other videos, the 10 signs you might be of the types that you have in your top 3. Before we get started, I do want to say if you are trying to decide between a type 7 and any other type, so along with those videos I've already done, I would say look at the cores. That's usually my recommendation first, is to look at the core weakness, core desire, core fear, core longing. That's what drives you. That's what motivates you. That's your why in life. And so start with the cores and then watch these videos, the 10 signs I might be a type. And I do have videos covering the cores and they're all around 1 minute. So go check those out too if you are trying to decide between a 7 and any other type. Okay, enough about that. Let's go ahead and get started into the 10 signs that you might be a type 7, which we know them as the enthusiast, the visionary, the adventurer, names like that. That's what we call the type 7. Okay, so sign number 1. You can relate to Peter Pan. Peter Pan is daring, he's adventurous, he's always jumping into adventures, he's funny, he's always playing jokes and having fun. I've heard that 7s wish that Peter Pan was actually real life, and I think another piece that a 7 can really relate to being Peter Pan is his desire to not want to grow up. I've heard several 7s say that, like, oh, getting older, I want to stay like I am. I want to stay in this awe and wonder and childlike view that they have. 7s just have more of that young mindset and they take that with them throughout life. And they know how to have fun. And that's the piece of Peter Pan that they can really relate to. All the 7s I know, as they've gotten into adulthood, they don't lose this piece. They don't lose this like young mindset and wanting to it really does go with them throughout their life. Sign number 2, you have major FOMO, fear of missing out. This is a real thing for 7s. They like to keep their options open. They like to be spontaneous. They don't want to miss out on anything. One thing I was thinking about is in this day and age with all the access to social media and seeing what everybody's doing, I would assume this has gotten a lot harder for the 7s because they can see what everybody's doing at all times. And I would just think that FOMO has went from here to here. But don't get FOMO confused with jealousy or envy. It's not the same thing. It's not that they're jealous. It's not that they're envious. They just don't want to miss out. That fear of missing out is so strong in a type 7. Sign number 3, you're not afraid to try new things on the menu, which is the complete opposite of me. I always like to eat the same thing almost every day. Breakfast, lunch, doesn't matter. When I go to a restaurant, I order the same thing. It's so rare that I would ever deviate, but that's the complete opposite of a type 7. They love variety. They love trying new things. They don't just want to have to settle on one thing on the menu. And actually, I have kind of a funny story. I was with this big group and there was a type 7 in the group and we went out to this restaurant. I had never even been there. I don't even think, maybe they had been there. I'm not for sure. But they ended up ordering like 5 different things. A lot of it was just like small plate things, but they ordered so much and they wanted to try everything. And I didn't really get it at the time. But the one great thing is they didn't mind sharing. They just wanted to have a little bit of everything and were perfectly fine sharing with the rest of the table. And I bet this is the same thing with restaurants. It wouldn't surprise me if a type 7 doesn't mind trying new restaurants. Now, I hate trying new restaurants. It's really hard for me to try a new restaurant. I need to actually go with a 7 who's been there and is like, totally excited for it in order for me to want to try it. But let me know in the comments below. Do you like trying new restaurants? Do you like ordering new things? Like, How is that for you if you are type 7? I definitely want to know. Sign number 4. You have a hard time finishing things. My thoughts are for the type 7, they start out big. They have these grand visions, these great ideas. They're like, they get everybody on board and they're like, let's do it. And, you know, maybe it's a project or something, I don't know. But whatever it is, they're like 100% in. They're like all hands on deck, go, 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 go. But I think a type 7 sometimes can have a hard time actually finishing it. And that would be for a couple of different reasons. The first one is maybe they do get bored. Maybe, you know, they're like, well, we've been working at this a long time and I'm kind of ready to move on. Or they start to think about the next big thing. They get excited. They're like, oh, okay, now I want to go this way. The next big thing, I have this big grand idea about that. And they start to lose the excitement for what they're doing and gain the excitement for what's coming. I would love to know your thoughts on that. If you are a type 7, let me know. Does that happen to you? Sign number 5, you reframe everything. If it's sad, we reframe it to happy. If it's negative, it gets reframed to positive. If it's hard, it could be reframed to easy. Like a lot of things that come to the 7, they are able to see it differently and reframe it into a better place, a better headspace. When I'm thinking about the reframing of the 7, a lot of times I'm like reframing, like an actual picture frame. I'm like, they're reframing everything. I actually think this is a gift of the 7, the ability to take something and bring some positivity out of it, have a different vision, kind of, you know, not get boggled down by the hard and the sad, but to go, okay, well, what can we do with this? How could we make the best out of this situation? So I actually think it can be a gift of them. I just think it comes naturally to a type 7. And I bet as you're hearing this, you're thinking of the things that you have reframed and you're like, do I reframe? And sometimes I think 7s aren't even aware that they reframe. It's just so natural to them. They're like, well, doesn't everybody do this? And the answer is no. That is definitely a gift of the 7. Their ability to take something sad and turn it into something happy. But I will say, the advice I usually have for 7s is don't do it so much to where you're running from the hard or you're running from the sad. It is important to feel those emotions sometimes, but it also can be a gift to help others get out of those emotions and find the silver lining or, you know, make the situation better. So that would be my advice there. Sign number 6, you hate to be bored. You love new movies, new books, new games, new TV shows, new projects, anything, new adventures, anything like that. You're always like, okay, what's new? What's exciting? And you go after it. You might even start lots of these at the same time. I have a friend who is a type 7 and he is reading usually like 7 books at the same time. He doesn't like to be bored. He, you know, I don't know how he does it, but he kind of just rotates through and at any given time he has definitely more than 5 books he's reading. But if you start something new and it is boring, I would think that the 7 drops it like it's hot. They're like, nope, moving on. So like say you try a new show or something and you're like, this is going to be so good. And you kind of start and get into it and you're like, this is kind of boring, not my thing. I think you just drop the show and you move on and you go find a different show. And as I'm teaching on the 7, I'm even realizing more how different I can be from a 7 because I don't like to try new shows. It's hard for me to get into new books, but once I do, I love them because I love reading, but to start something new, I don't know what it is. It can definitely be hard for me. Sign number 7, you know what you want out of life. This may surprise people because when they think about a type 7, they think like they're so carefree. How would they know what they want out of life? I would say don't mistake carefree for not caring. Those are 2 different things, especially to a type 7. They're very carefree. They love having freedom. They love having options and different things like that. But that doesn't mean that they don't care. They actually care a lot. And that's why I put this at number 7. I just believe that a type 7 does know what they want out of life and they usually won't stop until they get it. Sign number 8, you like to have fun while working. 7s are sociable, adaptable, optimistic. They a lot of times like roles that allow them to truly be who they are. And so I kind of compiled a list of jobs or careers that a 7 would love. Some of those jobs are photographer, travel agent, travel writer, life coach, coach of any sort really, flight attendant, bartender, server, personal trainer, dog rescuer, dog trainer. They love animals. Pastor, maybe a youth pastor, or something like that. Tour guide, interior designer. I just think 7s are actually super creative. Aesthetics can be very important to a 7. So I could see interior designer or even like a personal stylist being a great job for a type 7. And to finish it off, actor and DJ. All those jobs I would say for a type 7 would be really great jobs or careers. Sign number 9, you hate waiting. If you have to wait for something more than a day, like say it's a package you ordered or anything like that, it can feel like a year to a 7. 7s just can get impatient when they have to wait, whether it's in a line or for something they ordered or anything like that. They can get a little impatient at times. One thing I'd love to know, leave this in the comments down below, is if you can go and buy something in person in a store, would you rather do that versus order it online? I have this feeling that a 7, if they could get it right away, then they're gonna choose going to the store and getting it, but I totally could be wrong. Let me know in the comments below. All right, so we're at the last one, sign number 10, and that is a type 7. They just enjoy life. While 7s can be a little scattered, I really believe that they could just find the joy in the day, in the moment. They find the joy, they experience the joy, the happiness. They just always feel like there's something to pursue, something to go after, and that just really brings them joy and happiness, and they can enjoy life. All right, so which one of those 10 signs really stood out to you? Which one were you like, Hillary, you read my mail, that one was like, wow, you hit me right here. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to know. And the last thing I have for you is, if you got to this point and you're like, I do not know if I'm a type 7, I related to a lot of that, but I think I might be a different type, I'd love some help. Well, the good news is I do offer a Discover You typing session. It's a 1-hour Zoom call with me, and that information is linked in the description box down below. And so check that out if this is something that you are needing. But that's all I have today, guys. Until next week, bye guys.